Ed Sheeran Divide would be cool to go into because we could, because not only did we write so many songs, like for that album, there's like 5 number ones that spawned for other artists.
That is crazy. I heard you say that.
Yeah.
Are you able to talk about the songs?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
That's insane. First of all, I don't know if you said that in an
No,
you said that
I don't think I've ever really like dug into it.
You guys wrote 5 number ones for other artists?
I think so. Are we filming?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we are. Okay, let's talk about Divide.
Yes.
Yeah, look, Divide was so interesting. Okay, the whole story to this is actually pretty crazy. Ugh. I'm like stretched into a thing. Okay. So how I met Ed is like such an have I even told you this before?
I've heard it, but
okay. So how we met, my manager, who used to work for Atlantic, called me up and he said, "Hey, there's this guy who's just starting to put out music in the UK. And I think he's really good. And I think we should work with him." And I said, "Okay, play me a song." And they played me A-Team. A-Team had come out.
Incredible, by the way.
And I was like, I got to work with this man right now. He was coming to America. And I had email at the time. I don't have email anymore. But I had an email. And I remember someone put us on email. And Ed was like, "Hey, nice to meet you." And I was like, "I have to shit." That's all I wrote on the email. I said, "I have to shit." I said, "Hi, I have to shit." And everyone was like, "Why did you do that? Like he's not going to write back. Like he's never going to."
Everyone meaning like the people.
Yeah, all the people on the email, my manager. And then like a day later, he wrote back, "Me too." And I was like, okay. Now I know I'm going to be friends with this guy. We met up for a drink in New York City. We had like the best time ever. We recorded 2 songs the first day. Don't, and some song that I thought was the big song. So I was like, we have to work on this song. But then Don't was the one we wound up working on. And Don't, such an interesting story because we made this song. And then he was like, Rick Rubin's going to produce my album. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I remember he was like, Rick wants to take a stab at your song. So he took a stab at it and it was like all live music. And I remember Rick played it for me. And I was like, Rick, I love like the way mine sounds. Mine sounds better, I think. And Rick was like, well, why don't we take all of your electronic sounds and the ones you did with Ed and time them to the live musicians so it has a better feel. And I was like, that's going to take so long. I have like 30 kicks and 30 snare. And he was like, well, the engineer can like put it together. And like the engineer started putting it together, and me and Rick like went around his house and like we like picked eggs and like we like laid with no shirts on and I don't know, we did like all this crazy stuff, and we were like, he was like showing me like underwater like aerobics.
Oh my gosh.
And like 5 hours later we came back in and the man had finally finished it and he like played it, and I was like, I don't know, man. I think I like the original way better. And he goes, all right. He goes, worth a shot. And the engineer like did like 5 hours of work. And then I remember like me and Ed were like cutting new vocals, and then we played it for Rick, and he was like listening. He was like, and he listened like 3 times in a row, and he was like, this song makes me feel orange. And I was like, what? And he was like, it makes me feel orange. And then I was like, oh. And then I was like, well, what do we need to do to fix it? And he goes, you'll figure it out. And then he walked out of the room. And then we thought about it so long. And that's like the genius of Rick. You like sit there, and then we start fixing all the things that we think are wrong in the song. And I think he knew we were going to do that. So then like after we were done, we played it for him, and he was like, it's perfect. And I was like, did he just like get into my mind and tell me what to fix without telling me what to fix. I was like, this song does make me feel orange. And then I remember after the success of that song on that album, and that was Ed's first number one at radio. Like, and it was like, yeah, and he was like, whoa, shit. And I remember he called me and he's like, hey, let's make some more music. And I said, well, when are we going to make music? And he said, well, I'm on tour for a while. And I said, well, why don't I just come on tour with you? And he said, whoa, I've never had anyone come on tour with me. I said, yeah, why don't we just set up a studio at every arena and then, or stadium, and I'll just be on tour with you. And I went out for a week and it turned into 2 years. And
wow.
We worked on an album for 2 years. And obviously, it was so great. It was Ed's biggest album. It sold like 40 million copies. It was like one of the biggest albums ever. And I was like, whoa, this is fucking insane. An album that we just made like on a tour bus in the back of studios in his house and stuff. We never worked in a real studio. It was all done just like whatever we had at the time. And then, it was so interesting because not only did we get the success of that, we made like so many other big songs for other people during that time. Like during that time, not only did we make like, have like, Castle on the Hill, Perfect, all these big songs, we were able to somehow get all these, and you don't even notice when you're in it like that. But it's like, look, it's crazy. Watch this. Okay. Some of these songs took such different shape. Like, listen to this. You won't even know what this is yet. Watch.
I think they're...
Everybody gets high sometimes, What else can we do when we're feeling low? So take a deep breath and let it go. You shouldn't be drowning on your own. If you feel you're sinking, I will jump right over into cold, cold water for you. And though the time may take,
Then
everybody gets high sometimes,
it's crazy, right? Like, and these songs, they become these like different worlds. Like, and you look at like, let me see if I even have this on.
I heard Ed say that he doesn't even remember writing that song. I remember he said that he got a text from Diplo that was like, or like from you or him, and like, we're thinking about playing this song out. He's like, I don't even remember what that was.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. And then, you look at like, I wonder if I have it on this computer. This is a crazy one. One sec. Okay. So, me and Ed Sheeran are, obviously you've seen the video of us.
Of course.
Of us making Love Yourself.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Canada. We're on our way to America. Okay? We got invited to Drake's like after party for like his album with Future. And we were like, oh my God. We get there. We have the best night ever. We're like wasted. We go to a pizza place that's closed and we like bang on the door and we're like, please. And they like let us have like one last pizza. We're eating pizza. We get back on the bus. We decide to make a song because we want to stay up because they're going to wake us up anyways at the Border Patrol in like 2 hours. We make a song. Here's the song we make.
Fuck you. For all the times that you rain on my parade.
Listen to the noise in the background of the bus. Look, listen.
The ringing?
Yeah, listen.
Fuck you. For all the times that you rain on my parade. And all the clubs you get in using my name. You think you broke my heart, oh go for goodness sake. You think I'm crying on my own, well I ain't. And I didn't wanna write a song, cause I didn't want anyone thinking I still care, I don't, but
So it's like you have these moments, and I remember we did that song and we were like, oh yeah, it's cool. And then it becomes this like big song. And there's like so many like that. Like you look like we were in a hotel in Philly. Yeah. Okay. Listen to this. So we're in a hotel in Philly. Okay. Blake Slatkin's my intern at the time. It's the one day he didn't come to the room because we were like, oh, we're just going to like try some ideas. And we sat down, and I remember we ordered food, and like the old lady, there was like an old lady who was like bringing the food in, like who worked at the hotel. And I remember Ed opened the door and she was like, oh, and she almost dropped all the food. And she was like, oh my, sorry. And she like, I just remember that moment so vividly. And then me and Ed started doing this song, and he was like, yeah, it's okay. And then it was, and I remember we pitched it up right away because he was like, we should just give this to like a girl or something. Look, this is like first demo, and then we pitched it up.
when I was young, I fell in love. We used to hold hands, man, that was enough. Yeah. Then we grew up, started to touch. We used to kiss underneath the light on the back of the bus. I know your daddy didn't like me much, and he didn't believe me when I said you were the one. But every day, she found a way out of her window, sneak out late. She used to meet me on the east side of the city where the sun don't set. And every day, you know, we ride through the back streets in a blue Corvette. Baby, you know I just wanna leave tonight. We can go anywhere.
So crazy.
Drive down to the coast.
So sick.
Just take my hand and come with me. Singing, we can do anything if we put our mind to it. Take your old life.
Like it's just to me, the like when stuff like that happens, it's magic. We made that whole album. We made so many songs for other people
And for you.
yeah, and for me. And then we also made that song during that time. We made, what was that big song? Anne Marie song, 2002. We made that song during that time too. With Julia. Yeah. We made that was all made during that album. Like we made, I think we had 5.
Was that the day y'all wrote Dive too?
Yeah, that was the day
That's
we wrote that.
crazy.
I know. It's crazy. It's so crazy.
I have a dumb question.
Yes.
What? Okay, you have like Eastside 1.0 4K for J.
Yeah.
What's your organization process like? And then what does that mean?
Like, so I was like, oh, this is like,
Oh, okay, got it. And I get that one.
Yeah. So like we just have like I'm always just getting ideas. I get them in the middle of the night, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I wonder if Khalid would like this thing, and then send it, and it always just, I don't know. I feel like my best ideas always come like at the worst times when I don't want them to come. It's always like when I'm in like an important conversation with someone, I'll be like talking to them, and I'll be like listening to them, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is an idea. And I have to like pretend or actually keep listening to them and retaining the information, but also
And then think about the idea.
like think about the idea at the same time. Ed Sheeran used to do, we would be on tour, we'd be working on a song, backstage, okay? We're working on the song, and they're like, Ed, 10 minutes. And he's like, okay. He's like, working on the song. Some people come in, he's signing autographs while we're singing a song, while we're working on it. He's like taking pictures, still working on it. And then they're like, 3 minutes. And then he's like, still working. And they're like, 2 minutes. They come in, they like put the thing on his head. And then they're like, 1 minute. And then he's like, keep working on the song. I'll be right back. He goes, performs for 2 hours, okay? Then he comes back and he's like, okay, I was thinking about the pre-chorus while I was on stage. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I was thinking about it. And I said, how can you think about it while you're singing a song to 80,000 people? I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. And somehow he does it. It just comes back and then came back and would like lay the chorus down right then.
Like while he's playing the songs,
insane.
just think about them.
It's insane. I'm so stupid. I'm like these compared
But you said that you do that as well, right? You're able to like listen to someone and come up with an idea in real time.
It's true. But I'm not doing it in front of 80,000 people. I'm doing it in front of like my mom when she's talking to me. You know when like your mom calls you and like you just go,
yes,
yep. Like it's like that. I'm not like in a shootout and like in front of like 90,000 people.
Singing like A-Team.
I know it's great and making everyone cry. But it's just like second nature to these artists.
100%.
It's crazy. I feel like this is a good interview.